There are a lot of awards given out at the end of the NBA season. MVP, Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year. These are all great, but kind of predictable to a certain extent. So let's make our own award show that the NBA would never implement. They're more like high school yearbook awards. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This is definitely not a normal video, not as serious as a basketball video, but I think it would be fun to lighten up a bit. There's just been too much bad energy talking about busts and players and what happened in their careers. I just wanted to lighten it up a little bit, so I hope you guys enjoy. And starting off our award show is biggest waste of height in the NBA. And I have to give this one to Kristaps Porzingis. And this isn't meant to be a bad thing. I mean, kinda, because I love Porzingis as a player. I made a whole video about him on how much I love him. But holy shit, if you're 7'3", get your big ass in the paint every now and then. Oh my god, like you're shooting less than 30% from three. Stop taking 7 a game. You're a unicorn because of your shooting, but also because you're 7'3". I love Porzingis so much, but come on, biggest waste of height in the NBA this year. Next up on our award show, we have the most hated player in the NBA. And right now, this has to be Paul George. When you give yourself a nickname and it becomes such a meme and it's just absolutely not true, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to suffer the consequences. He's an amazing player, but since he sees himself on the level of Kawhi, LeBron, AD, Giannis, Durant, Curry, he just isn't taking that seriously. I mean, Jared Dudley is on his head right now. Like, that should be saying something. And the runner-up for this award is Draymond Green. This one feels a little outdated, in large part just because the MVP award usually goes to the best player on the best team, and he's the most hated player on the most hated team. But the Warriors aren't the team to hate anymore. And I feel like just like the only people in the league that like him are on his team or fans of the Warriors. And this is changing a little bit, but more so because of the fact that people just don't pay any mention to him anymore because the Warriors aren't that great anymore. But everyone knows that one guy in their friend group just way too competitive and annoying. And if you don't, I'm sorry, I have some bad news for you. But Draymond isn't a victim here. He knows he probably is. He's unfiltered, complains, talks shit all the time, and above everything, he's not the best player on the team. He reminds me of the guy in high school, like in track, where the bright pink track spikes, and it just sucked. Like, if you're wearing bright pink, you have to be good, and this just reminds me of Draymond. Next up on our awards show, we have Mr. Inconsistent, and this year it goes to Jay Crowder, because this dude is all over the place. Once a reliable shooter for the Boston Celtics, he's bounced around the league a little bit in trades and free agency. Well, he's currently on the Suns, and this guy is about as consistent as Kanye's personality. He's averaging a respectable 10.3 points per game with pretty good efficiency, but looking at these games, like game by game, there's multiple 16 to 23 point games, and then 2 to 5 point games out of nowhere. And I feel like there was a lot of people up for this award because a lot of people are streaky shooters in the NBA, but having him on my fantasy team only fueled the fire to make him for me to give him this award. Next up is Sexiest Player in the NBA. And I mean, you're not even a real man if you can admit this. It's Kelly Oubre. I mean, case 1, case 2, case 3, and I rest my case. Next up, we have Best Flopper in the NBA. And for the first time in fake NBA awards history, we have a 4-way tie between Bradley Beal, Chris Paul, Joel Embiid, and James Harden. I mean, Bill Laimbeer for the Pistons made flopping really popular in the NBA. He was kind of the first one to do it or do it regularly. And I'm just so proud of these players to be able to practice their craft and become black belt floppers. It's truly amazing. And wrapping up our award show is the person I would want to go clubbing with the most. And this one is hands down JaVale McGee, an absolute legend. I mean, he even has a YouTube channel and he's just awesome. It would be a crazy collab if we went clubbing together. I mean, he went from being the biggest meme ever and a Shaq'd and a Fool GOAT, and he grew out his rat tail and won 3 rings. This guy's literally sitting on 3 more rings than 90% of NBA players. Like, that blows my mind. And hands down, he's the person that I'd want to go out and spend a night clubbing with. And runner-up is Lou Will and Harden, because obviously they know the best places, but they're a pretty distant second. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was definitely a different video. It's not something I'm used to doing. It's usually a lot of like numbers, statistics, blah, 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 which I love doing. That's like what I'm really passionate about, but just too many bad vibes going on recently. Just gotta lighten it up a little bit. Let me know what you think of the awards show. And if you guys want to see a part 2, if you guys can come up with your own categories and a few players that you think would fit the mold, I would love to do a part 2 on this if you guys are interested in it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace!